Lovely.
How are you?
I am good. I am good. I am good. So, this is us. This is our new podcast.
I know, exciting.
Start off by telling everyone what it's called and what it's all about.
Go for it.
Okay, so this is our new podcast. So when I say our, I'm talking our. What sort of accent am I supposed to use? Um, I'm talking about me, Shelley Marie of Shelley Magic, and the beautiful.
Helen Stobbs. Not Helen of anything. I work for the NHS, just your normal kind of girl.
Not Helen of anything, Helen of magic and mystery and wonder, more like.
Well, that's true.
Anyway,
Yes, that's true.
of course it's true. She's like, Sunday, I can't even think about magic and mystery and wonder. So yeah, our new podcast is called Spirit Rebels, and we decided to get together because we both love talking and we both love magic and we both love the feeling of being able to just lift other people with our voices. We both have big messages that are very, very similar to spread. And we thought, you know what better way than just literally pressing record on some of our conversations and putting it out there to the world.
Plus, this was on for definitely for me my goal list. For life, how you should have a list, and so I just want to. Well, because you'd already launched a podcast before. This was just to show people as well. You can make your dreams come true.
Absolutely, you can. Day in, day out. It is absolutely 100% possible. So today's our first recording, and we are kind of just obviously finding our feet. So bear with on this. We
Yeah,
might be a bit waffly. We might, talk about all kinds of stuff and go off on tangents and sidetracks. But sometimes it's the tangents that actually have those nuggets of magic and joy and wonder in them anyway. Um,
exactly. And over the weeks, you'll really get to know our personalities and our little crazy ways.
little crazy ways,
That's
little.
true. We
So
should
Spirit
tell them
Rebels.
how we met, Shelley.
Oh, we will. We will. Yes. That's a good idea. So, Helen and I, do you want to take this? Do you want me to do it? Do you want to take it?
Well, I'll start it. You finish
Yeah.
it. So
Okay.
I moved up to the northeast because my now ex-husband, bless him, he was a Geordie, so I moved up to be with him. And I was just really struggling up there, and I kind of had this calling that I needed to do something else. And I thought I really want to get into Reiki. So I found a Reiki master and went to my Reiki 1. And lo and behold, Shelley was there. And she said, "Oh, I brought Shelley along, who's also one of my pupils and does Reiki." And that's how Shelley and I met. And then, Shelley, tell them what you said to me, because we instantly had a connection, didn't we?
Of course we did. We did. Just for our listeners, I feel like her from Bridgerton. Dear gentle listeners. Yeah, it's one of those situations. Have you ever met anyone where you just instantly go, "Oh, I know you. I don't know how I know you," and you can talk to them for hours as if they're like your best friend forever, and you've literally only been in the same room as them for like 5 minutes. And that was a bit like what it was like for us, wasn't it? It was just like
Yeah.
you. It's like I remember you, and I don't know why. And we were doing a meditation or something. I can't even remember what it was. And I had this vision, and it was you and me, past life stuff, like forever and ever and ever ago. And we were in some sort of very rural, I want to say, like in Cornwall or somewhere like that, little village. And we were maypole dancing, and we had these white dresses on, and we had flowers braided up in our hair, and it was very like idyllic and very pretty and lovely. And it was you, and it was just I'm thinking, "Oh, this is her. I know her. She's like my sister. What is going on here?" And I told you when like you were like, oh my god, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just been like that. And I think for you and me, it's been one of my favorite kind of friendships where we might not speak for like 2 years or something,
Mm.
and then all of a sudden, like it's like, oh, it's you. Hi, hello, you. But we're always thinking about each other, and we're
Yeah.
always kind of, in touch in some way.
Yeah, and
Um,
nothing changes. Like when you do pick up the phone, it's like we only spoke yesterday. And for me, I think that's a really lovely friendship when it's that easy, because life's busy.
of course
You
it is.
know,
It
we're
really is.
mums, we're both working full time. Life is busy. And so to fit everything in is tough.
It absolutely is. And I think friendships without pressure is like the goal, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
friendships, I've had plenty of them. pressurized friendships where, you feel guilty for not being in touch all the time. And or
Yeah.
there's these comments made, oh, where have you been? It's like, well, I'm sorry, I've been trying to run a business, manage a household, raise two kids, and breathe in between it all. Thank you very much. And it's not fair. It's not fair at all. So no, I love those kind of friendships, and I am so excited that we've kind of got our heads together on this and are doing this.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Spirit Rebels, it's oh gosh, how do you even begin to explain what it's about? It's about magic, but for normal people. It's
Yeah.
about feeling good in a normal life. It's not to encourage people or teach people to, jack in their full-time job, abandon their families, nick a gypsy caravan and head for the hills. As pleasant as that sounds sometimes. That's not what we're about. It's not what we're about. We
No.
both are very passionate about making sure that everyday people who have normal jobs and have
Mm.
to manage, whether it's changing nappies, loading dishwashers, poop scooping after dogs, sitting in corporate meetings, managing car breakdowns and having to pay bills and relationships going up and relationships going down and wobbling around with family issues and friendship issues and financial worries and the world and the feeling of the world at the minute, it's all there's so many opportunities to feel crap, I suppose, is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. And I think we've said that our job in this podcast is to help people that we don't have to feel crap, that we can choose how we feel and we can choose what we focus on. And I'd like to think we're a little inspirational light of laughter and of a little light bulb, little ideas of, okay, well, I
Yeah.
can think this way, or I could do this. So for me, why do I want to do this podcast? I want to do this podcast because I love talking about my stuff. When I say my stuff, it's not that I'm like precious and own it. It's my world, it's my life, and it's everything that I love and how I manage my life or try as best I can
Mm.
to be, a normal person in this chaotic existence. And I just want to, if one person listens to this and gets something out of it, either feels better for half an hour, has a bit of a laugh at the fact that you and I are just crazy and full of crap, um, whatever it may be, for people to, just kind of go, oh yeah, I like listening to them. They make me feel good, and that I guess that's why I'm here today.
Yeah.
Do you want to say a little bit about what
Yeah.
it's all about for
Um,
you?
so of the same ilk, I work full time for the NHS. I'm a senior manager. I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love my job. But I'm also single mum to a teenager. Those of you with kids and those of you with teenage girls will feel the pain and understand it's a house of hormones. So for me, being busy all the time and being in that corporate world, I'm really passionate about all this other stuff, like how can I bring joy and happiness into my life? What techniques can I use? So about a year and a half ago, I really started practicing gratitude, and I have to say it's life transforming. And I thought to myself, if working with you and we can talk to people, and even like you say, they get one small little nugget of, oh, I can try that, or just like you say, a bit of light-heartedness, a bit of a laugh, then great. Because I do feel like a bit of an earth angel. I know that sounds silly, and I don't mean that at all in an egotistical way. I don't
Why do
mean
you
it
have to
like that.
justify it? Why do you, if that's what you
Well,
say,
true.
why do you need to justify it? Why would it be ego-led? It
I
wouldn't.
don't know. I don't know. You worry, don't you, that people might say, but I do feel like I'm there and I help people all the time. I'm always there. And I love that. And I do feel that's kind of my purpose. So I want to step out of my day job and that commercial life and show a bit of who I really am and all these extra passions and beliefs and loves that I have. So that's why I'm coming on this journey with you, my lovely.
Yeah, 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 you're all. So I guess today's episode really is just to kind of set the scene and talk about, like, introduce ourselves and kind of get into the swing of it. So you know, I guess where we need to start after these, our little intros, is about looking at how people do feel, because I think the world, it's, well, I say this all the time. Anyone who's heard any of my stuff or worked with me at all, I say this all the time. This world is changing at the minute. We're going through, if you want to be on the light worker vibe and say, we're going through the shift into 5D. If you want to be a normal person and just go, oh my God, the world just feels like it's upside down and falling to pieces right now. Whichever way you want to look at it is true. And it's really hard to kind of navigate these feelings of fear. And every time you go shopping, you're like, how much is that? And then something happens,
Mm.
something else happens. And then we're also bombarded with all this other stuff about, positive vibes only, and to manifest what you want to do, all you have to do is
Oh
think
yeah.
positively, and it'll come. And if it doesn't come, it just means you're shit. So, never mind. Um,
I'm clearly shit then.
I am as well. And it's just not as fucking easy as that. It really, really isn't.
No.
And I kind of want people to just be okay with who they are. And we're all works in progress. I'm going to come up with some really cheesy cliches, but we're all works in progress. We are all perfectly imperfect. And it is all about the damn journey. And,
Mm.
like I say, cheesy cliches, ahoy. We're so destination driven, and we're so, oh, I'll be happy when
Mm.
that happens, when I get a new job, when I move house, when I get a relationship, when I lose weight, when I have more money. I'll be happy when. And for me, the key to it all is finding happiness in the now, even if your
Yeah.
bank balance is wobbly, and even if your bum's wobbly, and even if your relationships are wobbly. It's about finding that happiness in the here and now. And that is what will manifest other new
Yeah.
stuff, is what will attract and bring
I
forth.
spent all day yesterday studying because I've failed some assignments that I'm doing, and I'm just like, oh my God, I had to rewrite them all. And halfway through the day, I was like, oh, I just need to get out. And I just got out with no shoes on my feet. And I know it sounds mad, but I just wanted to walk around the garden and just feel the grass under my feet and just have that connection back to nature and just breathe and think, it's okay. What is the worst that's going to happen here? Yes, if I fail, I have to redo a whole module, pay £400 for the pleasure, but that's my very worst case scenario. There's all this bad stuff happening in the world. There's people that have got no money, can hardly think about feeding their kids and stuff. And there's me moaning because I've got to do a bit of study. I mean, how privileged am I that I'm getting that opportunity? So just having that little walk on the garden, it just grounded me. It just brought me back to a good place to think, actually, I'm blessed. And why am I moaning? And what is my worst case scenario? And my worst case scenario is actually so much better than, unfortunately, a lot of people in this world. So for me, that just gave me that. I don't want to be dismal and make it sound sad, but it just gives you that moment, doesn't it, of just putting yourself back into some sort of reality.
But I think that's it. And we get so tangled. And when we're in it, when we're in the situation, whether it's writing assignments, whether it is, um, you know, unpleasantness in work, whether it is unpleasantness in a relationship, money, health, no matter what it is, we get so entangled in it. And unfortunately, what happens is it overflows. So it's not just that aspect of our life that it, affects. It has an impact right the way across. If you're struggling with money, you'll then potentially struggle to actually relax and take care of
Mm,
yourself. If you're struggling with money, you're more likely to not be able to be in those moments with your friends, your family, your kids, and enjoy the moments, even though it's got nothing to do with money, because your energy is just all squiggledy higgledy. And
mm,
when you shut out and when you kind of lock down on one aspect of your life, it just shuts down on just about everything. And what we have to do is make that conscious decision to step out of it, to either look up from what we're doing, to get out, to put your feet in the grass, to take a breath, to go and have a cuddle, walk a dog, to hug a tree. Yes, that was an absolutely serious suggestion. You think
I've
you're
never
mad
done it,
walking
but
around?
people talk about it. Yeah, maybe I'll try it next time I fail.
Oh my God, the feeling, trees are just pure love. They absolutely are. You're saying, I think, it's going to sound mad that I went out in the garden with bare feet. Oh, Helen, my darling, you've no idea what is mad.
I clearly haven't lived.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I heard of there's a group of people, it is some school of thought, I can't remember the name of them, but they sunbathe their bum holes. I
What?
think are they called sun eaters? They sunbathe their bum holes. They literally go out, they find where the sun is, drop their pants, spread their cheeks, and let the sun just like.
Oh my
I'm
God,
not saying I do that. We just
no.
my neighbours
Well,
might get
my
a hell
mum's
of a
so
fright.
big, I think I'd cover the sun, so it would just block out the sun. I don't think that would be a good move for me. Oh God, how strange!
Yeah,
Wow.
I
I
know. I
mean,
mean, but they swear by it, and they say that it literally fuels them.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
I've
desperate times. You may see me. Anybody that lives near me may see me out in my garden.
bum cheeks spread. I mean, if any of our listeners ever do try, we're not encouraging you, but if you do decide to try it, please do let us know how it goes because
Yeah,
neither of us are prepared to give that one a go. I'll stick to my trees. Thank you very much.
that's hilarious. Oh my God. But
Yeah.
it just shows, doesn't it? It's like you say, in the midst of all of those difficult times, if you just can find little strategies
Yeah.
or little small things, like you say, and try and get yourself out of that mindset. And that is really tough to do. We are not saying that is easy.
No.
It is not easy, but even if you can just do one small thing, that even if it gives you momentary relief, happiness, that second is worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've said that yesterday for you it was taking off your socks and shoes and going outside and standing on the grass and just breathing. Do you have any other little things that you do that take you out of those tangled up head moments?
Well, I try, and I'm not very good at this, and I know you're good at it. So this is where you'll come in. Maybe give us some top tips. I do try to meditate or quiet my mind, but I have to say, I'm not very good at it because my mind's always thinking, and I try and do meditations and listen to what they're saying, and I'll like if they're talking about walking in a forest or picturing a white light, I'm doing all of that. But then my mind's thinking, oh yeah, you're cooking that for tea, and oh, did you pack that in Lily's bag for school? Is that normal? Like when you're trying to meditate, that your mind gets distracted off, and then I get stressed about it.
No, that's totally normal. And to be honest, the amount of people who I work with, teach, whatever, who say that they really struggle with meditation. Silent meditation's the hardest. I do think that because it is just pure silence. But depends what it is that your reasons for meditation, because you can meditate for a body reset, because meditation, it stops the production of stress chemicals, literally just bam, regulates hormones, regulates your cortisol levels, regulates your sugar levels in your body, the way your brain's work, and it stops the momentum on the negative firing of the thoughts and things. Um, but there's also, I mean, I do a lot of my meditation just for pure connection because it's just nice, and I go off and talk
Mm-hmm.
to my guides or angels or the universe or whoever decides to pop up that day. But yeah, it is difficult because, well, my advice, I suppose, number one, if you're listening to guided meditations, find some good ones. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know a lady who has some guided meditations that is available on her YouTube site. I know. Uh,
We should put links so that people can
you
link to
should,
your
yeah.
stuff and things like that, and
Um,
other people that we follow.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think because there's some on you if you go onto YouTube, I mean, they're all free, aren't they? And there's some absolutely brilliant ones on there. But there are also some other ones that are just like no, no, no. So if my thoughts are that if you are listening to a guided meditation, it's not holding your interest, you need to find a different either
Mm,
speaker or a different sort of meditation. So many people say to me, no, yeah, but I can't keep my head still. I've got ADHD brain. Well, yeah, and I know that feeling. But and this is where the tough love Shelley business comes in. You got to make a choice. You got to decide that it's worth it. Now, with
yeah.
meditation, it's not just about, okay, I'm going to go and try. You put your thing on for 10 minutes, you lie there, your brain wanders, so you go, oh, I can't do it, I'm rubbish. You got to keep trying, and it's not going to be 3 times and you've got it cracked. It's not going to be 10 times and you've got it cracked. I've been meditating now. How old am I? 44. I've been meditating now for over 20, and I said 40 years. I wasn't meditating when I was 4. Some enlightened
Well,
Buddha
you
child.
probably did in your previous life.
But probably. But from what I can remember in this life, I've been meditating about 20 odd years, 25, yeah, 20, 25, anyway, however long. And even now there'll be days I go and I sit to meditate and I just go, nah, not work. My head is all over the place. And, there is an element of, is this the right time? If I
Mm.
were to sit down and try and get some meditation in quarter of an hour before I've got to leave the house for the school run, for example, it's not a good time because
No.
in the back of my head, I'm thinking, how long have you got? Oh God, don't fall asleep. Don't, get distracted. Don't, what if you miss the kids, stuff like that. I think first thing on a morning's great because it really does set me up for the day. I also quite like that as long as I've not got evening work on, that moment after I've got back from the school run, if Paul's on making the tea, because I'm very lucky to have my own personal chef. He's not really a personal chef, but he is my personal chef because he's fabulous. And I get a bit of time. That is a brilliant time for meditation because then I
Mm.
can wind down into my evening nicely. I can leave the day behind if I need to. But you've got to find a good time for you to be able to do it. And I think timing is really important. But that decision that, okay, so it wasn't brilliant today, but I managed a minute where my head didn't wander off. Great.
Mm.
Keep going. Tomorrow you might
Do
get a
you
minute
meditate every day?
every day.
Oh,
Every
oh.
day. And it's first thing often it's not. My alarm will go off in the morning and I'll snooze it. I have about 6 alarms that go off in the morning, basically.
Oh,
Um,
I'm like that. Yeah, I'm at least six.
I like to know that it's coming. So, you
Mm.
just, all right, it's nearly there. I'll snooze my alarm. I'll put my hands on myself for my Reiki self healing, and I'll just go off in my head. And whether I'm doing Ho'oponopono, which is a lovely energy clearing kind of thing, whether I'm just letting some colors come in for me, whether I'm calling out to the universe. Ideally, it's good to set intentions for your day and ask for a bit of
Mm.
guidance for your day, do some gratitude stuff for your day. But just see what you can manage. And I'm not saying that there aren't days where I snooze off back to sleep again, because there absolutely are. But the intention is there. And I think if my hands are on me somewhere, that Reiki's flowing, I've set the intention, I'm going into that sort of headspace. But
Maybe I'll
it's
try it in the week when I wake up because I don't get home till late and I've got to cook Lily's tea
yeah,
and it's just me and Lils and then I'm blimmin' studying all the time for the
yeah.
next year. That's my life. Um, so maybe I should try it in the morning. Although I have got, so I don't know, don't ask me how I did it because I don't remember, but I'm not that technical with phones and stuff. I, like you, Shelley, am 44. We're not old, but phones have come on a long way. But I have set on my alarms, so when they first go off and then when I snooze, because I'm like you, at least 6 alarms, like little notes, like little gratitude notes. So I've got thank you, thank you, thank you. I love my life. I'm so grateful for my life. Thank you, universe. So little messages come
That's
up with the
you.
alarm. So
Oh,
even then, I'm seeing it the moment I'm looking at that phone to turn it off. I'll have a play to remind myself how I did it so we can share it.
please do,
But
because I don't have that on my phone, and I think that would be really, really cool. I like
yeah,
that. I like
yeah.
that a lot.
I'm not that technical. Somebody taught. I think I must have heard it on a podcast or read it somewhere, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to try that," and I did it.
Kids would know how to do it. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Absolutely would know how to do it.
100%.
Um, so yeah, that is a brilliant idea. But yeah, I think we're rubbish. I think the key is the fact is we're rubbish at prioritizing ourselves, but B,
Yeah.
we're rubbish at prioritizing stuff like meditation because it's not an instant win. It's not. Well, I mean, it is really because you never come out of meditation feeling worse than what you went into it.
Mm.
Um, but it's not like we're so conditioned to fix everything, aren't we? I have a
Yeah.
problem. I need to fix it. I'm not allowed to sit down. I'm not allowed to switch off. I'm not allowed to relax because this is my responsibility. I need to fix this problem. And it goes against the grain. It goes against everything. If we think, right, I'm worried about a problem. Okay, so I'm going to take myself off and sit down in the quiet for 15 minutes. It's like, well, how is that's not going to earn you more money. That's not going to apply for
Yeah.
your job. That's not going to tidy your house. That's not going to make your kid well again. It feels backwards, and it's because of the condition that we've experienced through our life and before that, that tells us that if there's a problem you have to fix it.
Mm.
Whereas I guess my message is, if you have a problem, then you need to go and give it to the universe. You need to ask for some direction and guidance. You need to raise your vibration so that you can attract a solution or a better level of energy coming in to shift things.
Sorry, can I ask you a question then? If we're asking the universe, because I do this regularly,
Yeah,
you know how you hear all the time, oh, if you put it out to the universe, it can happen.
yeah.
What happens if you're saying to the universe, I'm struggling with this? How can you help me with this? Is that okay? Can we do that? And we're not putting negativity out there?
Of course not, because the thing is, the universe doesn't listen to our voice. So if we're sitting there going, I'm fine, I'm full of positive vibrations, I am really grateful when you're not, I am feeling really positive when you're not, it doesn't hear the words that comes out of our mouth. What the universe hears is our vibration. It's like the way I explain it when I'm teaching is like we sing, our energy sings a song. So when we're high vibing, our song is like, can't believe I just did that like on a
I can't
podcast.
either. Hats off. Brilliant moment.
Then when our vibrations are low, when we're feeling rubbish, our song is like moo. We're a bit like, Eeyore from
Mm.
Winnie the Pooh, bless him. And that's what the universe hears. So it's a bit like our song is magnetic. So we just whatever tune we are vibrating out, we will attract the same music back into our lives. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. That does totally make sense.
But at the same time, we cannot pretend things are better than what they
Mm.
are just for the sake of, oh, well, isn't this what you're meant to do to attract better things into your life? That will never, 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 never work. We have to admit our starting point, because if we can't acknowledge and admit our starting point and say, hey, universe, I'm struggling with this, or I am really worried about this, or I don't know the answers to this, or I feel like shit today, or why have I got no energy, or when am I going to get a break? I feel like there's too much going on. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. I'm sad. I'm lonely. I'm lost. I'm poor. I'm, whatever it might be. We will never be able to move forward until we accept our starting point, which is why this whole positive vibes only thing really winds me up, because
Mm.
there's no point in pretending. Like, there's literally, it does nothing. There is an element of, not necessarily fake it till you make it, but you do have to sometimes go, you know what? I'm going to give myself a talking to. Right. So that is worrying me, but that doesn't have to affect
Mm.
how, it doesn't have to dictate who I am today. That worry that I've got to deal with, and I know it's there, does not have to overtake how I interact with my kids, or whether or not I put my favorite songs on in the car and sing show tunes all the way to work, or, whatever it might be. Because how many people actually separate one worry from other situations? If you're worried about money, you'll then come downstairs and maybe snarl at your other half, and it's not
Yeah.
anything. It's just that's where your vibration is at the time. I think it's so important, and this is why, talking to the universe, it's not just about manifesting stuff and attracting stuff. It's about asking for help, because we have this team of, I have a friend who is no longer with us, and she used to call them her spirit pals. And I love that, good old Julie. She would call them her spirit pals. She'd say, "Hey, spirit pals, come and help." And this is, you're looking at whether it's the angels, whether it's ascended masters, great cosmic beings, whether it's, your dead Auntie Mabel, whether it's ancestors from the past. Some of them can be a bit shirty, but we'll get into that another day. Whether it's the unicorns, the fairies, the dragons, it doesn't matter. Spirit animals. It doesn't matter who it is that is there. It's about acknowledging the fact that we all have this team, and it's okay to reach out to them. I think a lot of people that I work with find themselves, and I think the most commonly used word in my sessions at the moment is it's lonely. It's lonely trying to be a better person. It's lonely trying to move away from negativity. It's
Yeah.
lonely trying to drop doing things and going places and being with people that make me feel like I can't be me, because now I'm on my own. It's lonely. But actually, we're not lonely at all, because if you just take that time to plug in, you'll be filled with the most amazing feelings of light and of love and of support and comfort. And yes, sometimes it's scary, because we start then to get an urge to do things, because that's divine guidance coming in saying, you know what, it's okay to change direction. It's okay to not do that anymore, or it's okay to go and sign up for something that you've never done before, or whatever it might be. So it's new and it's different to have invisible friends, and everyone's going to think I really am crackers now. um, but you know what, if we believe in these angels, if we believe in the ascended masters, and all this wonderful good stuff, the universe itself, our higher self even, then why not use them? Why not use them for the support that they are? And angels can only help when we have given them permission. we have been created with such a level of free will that they'd probably sit there banging their head off a wall all the time, going, "What are you doing? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" Well, mine do anyway. We have told you 400 times not to do that anymore. It makes you sad. Oh, here we go again. Um, they probably get really frustrated. But if we just say, "Angels, I absolutely give you permission to just get into the financial aspect of my life and bring some solutions and just help me fix this, please." And they'll be in there. I nearly said like swimwear, but that would be really, really bad.
I think I might speak to mine tonight about, as I do speak to my angels. I mean, that for me is my ascended master, as it were, angels.
Yeah,
And I might speak to them tonight about all this study because it's totally stressing me out. And then bless my mum yesterday, she comes up to help me do some cleaning. But this is the other thing. You have this pressure on you in life, don't you, to do everything.
yeah,
And my mum always comes up. Her house is immaculate. Now, I would say if you walked in my house, you would say it's clean. But if you look in the corners, there's cobwebs.
yeah.
Do I go around cleaning my skirting boards? No, Shelley, I don't, because to be honest, I've got more to do in my life than clean bloody skirting boards. However, my mum notices all that stuff. So her good intention is to come and help because she knows I'm up to my, eyes at the moment in stress, as it were. But yet she doesn't make me feel good then because she's like, oh, look at the state of this. How can you live like this? What about this? I've done this for you. Da, 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 da. And her intention was so good, but I still felt crap at the end.
Yeah,
And then I felt guilty that my poor mum, who's like 66, is out in my porch cleaning it all. I'm sat in the other room studying. This is not right. And I think that this is the problem, isn't it, in life? We carry all this extra, not necessarily worry, I can't think of the word, but we're always, I think, particularly as women, and I don't want to stereotype against women, men at all, but I do think we have to do a lot, or we feel we have to do a lot. And so we put pressure on ourselves. This is where I think, like you say, finding time to meditate and things like that, actually, we should allow ourselves that bit of time because it will really help us.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter if our house has got cobwebs, because if somebody's coming to visit me that loves me, although my mum does love me, they don't care if I've got cobwebs.
No, absolutely not. If you walked into my house, I mean, there's more dog hair than like human life. There really is. Like tumbleweed rolling across the floor. You're just like, oh my God, I can't remember what colour my laminate is. It's just, but look, no one's gonna, I mean, unless it's really filthy and there's like E. coli or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
No one's gonna die, and like if you haven't got your floors done, and it's I don't know, it's all these shoulds and musts, isn't it? And the expectations, and I mean, don't get me wrong, the house thing is, I spend a lot of my time. I'm either working, I'm taxiing kids around, planning more work, or if I get downtime, I like to read, and I'm in a book. Um, so that is, I get worn out. I've got health stuff as well, but I'm not going to go into that. And I get knackered. I get absolutely knackered, and I need to recharge. And I know I can't work and be my best and have these brilliant ideas and channel for my customers and just, do my Thursday card readings and do what I do, teach my witches, all the rest of it. I can't connect in properly when I am exhausted because I got nothing left.
Yeah.
So if I have 2 hours, the last thing on this earth that I want to do is clean and tidy. Now, I hate having people in my house. Like I hate it to the point where it sends my anxiety through the freaking roof. And in the wind and the rain the other week, the felt off our shed roof blew off. And Paul rang up because we rent our house. Paul rang up to get the guy to come and look at it or do whatever they do. And so he was due to come out on Friday morning. That's fine. So Friday, I'd actually taken some time off on Friday morning because I was prepping 30 party bags and making 30 sandwiches because I had a birthday party yesterday. But I thought, yeah, that's fine. I don't even need to look at the house because and even like builders and tradesmen and stuff, I have to have the house like tidy if they're coming. It just feels so on edge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, no, I don't even need to think about that because he's a shed man. He's going to go in the garden. But unbeknownst to me, is we have a problem with our ensuite bathroom window in our bedroom, and we're in a townhouse, so we're up on the top floor. And about half an hour before he's due to arrive, Paul wanders through and goes, You have remembered that the shed man's coming, haven't you? And I went, yeah, yeah. Well, it doesn't, you can just go through the side gate and go into the garden that way and whatnot. He went, I think he was going to look at the bathroom window as well. I went, what? Well, honestly, you've seen nothing like it. I was Hoover, rubber brush for the stairs. I was shrieking at Paul, what? um, well, because you react like this. Well, yes, I'm going to react like this. I was like, emptying bins and in the bathroom or the tub, also bleach everywhere, upper height. And, and Paul's going, but it's fine. We've got kids and we live in a house and well, it's lived in. It's all right. It's fine. I'm like, it's not bloody all right. So, I get myself into such a stressy knot. Honestly, you've never seen anything like it. Tears and tantrums, seriously. Whereas, if I just looked around and gone, right, okay, well, I'm working, I'm organising a kid's birthday party, I am launching, I've got 4 new products or the things that I'm launching at the moment. I have a teenager, I have a 10-year-old, I have a dog.
You have a partner that your fiance that you have to love and look after and make time for.
Well, I do love him dearly. I don't think I do much looking after, to be honest with you. He looks after me more than anything.
But this is what I mean. You've got all this pressure on you all
Yeah,
the time.
exactly. Yeah. And this guy who's just come to look at the bathroom window, you know what? Do you think he looked at whether my banisters have been wiped down in the last
No, absolutely not.
Or
No.
whether there was the dog who come in with like mud and shook up the walls in the entranceway, or you know what I mean? It's just, or whether the kids actually, what did have to move. I've got a tray with a crystal grid set up on my landing that he would have had to trip over on the way along.
And he might have gone, what is this?
You know what it is? I didn't even move that. I was doing other things, trying to hoover the stairs, and then the hoover ran out of bloody battery because I didn't know to put it on charge before. Hoovers and batteries. Oh my god!
Oh, it drives me potty. Drives me potty. It's always at the time you need it. It's got no charge.
And you're like,
always.
I'm sure I left this on charge, or you put it on charge and don't flick the switchy thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no. And
I think the long and the short of it is then we are saying
digressing.
No, that's what I love about you. But no, we're saying that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay for everything not to be perfect. And we need to forgive ourselves because I think we're always expecting to be climbing mountains and getting to the top of said mountains and surviving. And actually, sometimes it's okay to just get stuck halfway and spend a little bit of time halfway. Yeah. It's okay. And it's definitely something I'm trying to change in my life in terms of how I speak to myself.
Yeah.
Because I do put all this extra responsibility and pressure on myself and it's just exhausting. And actually, God forbid, when my time comes, I don't want to have gone in a cloud of stress and unhappiness. I want to be happy.
Yeah. To look back on your life and think, oh, I did good there. I did, I know we're just about getting ready to wind up, but I'll tell you this little story full of little anecdotes, Helen, full of them. It was a little while ago now, and I was I can't remember what I was writing for. Knowing me, it would be something literally last minute, and because I leave everything to the last minute, it's how I work best. That literally my brain won't kick in unless I've got like crazy pressure on top of me. Anyway, I was knackered, it was late, and I went through into the bathroom just to go to the loo and washed my hands, looked up in the mirror, and I looked exhausted. And I thought, I'm going to try this because I tell other people to do it. And I thought, I'm going to try and talk to myself now as if I was looking at Tabitha, my daughter. And I looked and I went, you look absolutely shattered. You really just need to go make a cuppa, have 10 minutes. It's going to be all right. I know you need to get your work done, but you'll get it done. It's all right. But you do need to breathe and you do need to eat and you need to hydrate. So let's just take 5 and it's okay to stop. And honestly, I'm welling up now just thinking about it because the emotions that went through me at that point in time, it was like my face was looking at me going, you've never spoken to me like this before. Normally I just get my backside kicked until I get finished what I've been, going to do. Work through the exhaustion, keep going, push on, push on. And it was a bit of a penny drop moment where I went, oh my God. And I did go make a cup of tea and I had to come back and well, not tea, it would be coffee for me. And came back. And because I'd taken that time just to drop everything and settle, I got finished so much quicker. And I wasn't, when you try to type fast and you have to delete half of it or go back over it and
Yeah.
delete it because you've written really stupid words in stupid places. Everything came out smoother. Everything went just so much better, and I got it finished and I felt better. And it also reminded me that actually I was doing it because I've chosen to do it and because I want to do it, and because this is the life that I have chosen. These are my steps for now that I have chosen. And it just helped me to be able to see it from that point of view, just by having a breath and being kind to myself, rather than being in the state of, you have to get this finished, it must be done. Look at you, you're rubbish for leaving it till the last minute, and criticize, and just to be nice to myself. So I think, yeah, everybody could really take a bit of a leaf out of your book when it comes to how you speak to yourself, because it's not the easiest thing to do at all to change that mindset.
No. I'm going to try doing that actually this week, because I do feel at the minute very pressurized. Everything seems to be coming at me, but it is steps. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's steps I've chosen to create a better life. So I can't now be moaning about it. I need to find a way of just getting through it. And the next 12 months is going to be challenging in terms of time. I get that. But after 12 months, if I can achieve everything I'm planning, wow. I mean, I'll be so proud. So I've
Yeah,
got to try and keep hold of that feeling
yeah,
and just keep going and accept that I'm going to have good and bad times in that time. And I think you're right. It's taking the time just to breathe. And that's what I haven't been doing. And
yeah,
just to be kind to yourself. So, yeah, see, I've learned something already just having this chin wag with you. And I'm, going to maybe go back and try the meditating again, but maybe try something, listen to some other people. And I'm going to, yeah, say it's okay just to take a breath.
yeah,
So thanks,
yeah.
Shells. You've,
Oh,
you've
and
helped me out.
and just remind you that Joe Dispenza, who was one of my favorite teachers of, he believes that there's nothing that can't be healed, that the power of our mind is more, important than anything at all. Huge law of attraction teacher. He has a quote, and it says something along the lines of, you should meditate for 15 minutes every single day, unless you're really, really busy, in which case you should meditate for an hour. And I love that.
Yeah,
I
that is
absolutely
good.
love that. And it's
And
like,
actually, how
okay,
can we say we haven't got 15 minutes? Because I bet you I mean, I will sit and scroll on bloody Instagram for 15 minutes.
yeah,
So how can I prioritize that over,
over
like you
that.
say, some meditation? I
Yeah,
mean, God, look how long we sit on the toilet throughout the day through different times of going to the loo.
yep.
And we're in a world now where we always take our bloody phones with us to the loo. So we could sit on the loo with some meditating music or
Absolutely.
something and meditate.
Absolutely. If you added it up, and then, yeah, obviously, a consistent block is going to be the better one. But every time you went to the loo, every time you boiled the kettle, every time you had to, I don't know, take the bin out, or, these days when you're cleaning your teeth, you don't
Mm.
have to be perfectly still. I mean, I think, do we have an episode just on meditation? I can't remember if we've got one
I
planned.
don't know if we
If
do. We'll have
not,
to
maybe we
check.
should, because I could
Yeah.
talk about this forever.
Because you could also do the last 10 minutes could be you doing a meditation
I
with
could do
us.
meditation. Yes, I could. I can talk you
Yeah.
through some magics.
A new
Um,
episode coming soon.
yeah. Got so much planned. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's about prioritizing. It's about choosing and remembering that everything we do is our choice. You might hate your job. I'm stuck in my job. Well, there is a choice. You might not like the alternative,
Mhm.
but there's always a choice. And it just, I think, reminding you about yourself about that gives you the power back to go, oh, actually, because I could make a different choice, couldn't I? I could choose to leave. I could just walk out of here. And yeah,
Mhm.
okay, so you'd feel worse because you wouldn't have any, financial security and all sorts of other things. But it's still a choice. It's still a choice. You could choose to look for something different. You could choose to go into a completely different industry. You could choose to, requalify in different things. There's always a choice. But my darling, I think that's for
Yeah.
episode one. I think we've waffled our waffle and talked our talk and spread our
Yeah.
sparkles as far as we can do for today. Do you have
We
anything
we
else?
won't waffle every session. Like we will. Well, we will waffle a lot, but we
Oh, we
will,
will.
where we can, bring in some fun things like a meditation or whatever as well. I mean, when I say we, that will be the lovely Shelley, because that is her skills and expertise. I will go along on the journey, like you listeners at home, doing whatever the task or challenge is. But yeah, I think it's been just great to just talk, and I've definitely got something out of today. I hope anyone listening does as well. And I think it's going to be really interesting to go and put some of these little ideas into some practice.
Absolutely. And I have, every time I talk about this stuff, it inspires me once again. It reminds me, why I choose to be me. It puts me in a good mood. It raises my vibrations. I was knackered when we started this call because, as I say, I had Tabitha's birthday party yesterday. I feel hungover this morning when I have to interact with lots of people. I feel hungover the next morning, and it's nothing to do with alcohol. It's a stress hangover.
Yeah.
So, yes, so thank you to you because you have helped me to shift into a lovely mind space and feel relaxed and good. And it means this afternoon, I literally am. I have 100 pieces of housework to do. And apart from ironing school uniforms, because that has to be done. And when I say ironing, I mean washing and ironing, which I haven't even
Yeah.
started yet. Um, Apart from that, I'm going to be snuggled on the sofa with my dog and my book and a cuppa, and that'll be that.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that's listening. We will be back next week for
Yay.
more fun. And yeah.
And don't
See
forget
you
to
soon.
check out the Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
If you are not looking at this from Facebook, we'll put the links up in the comments and everything. Like, subscribe, give us all the loves in the world, and let us know what you thought. Love you lots.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.